Hello, welcome to the Modern Agent Standard. You'll find us on YouTube. And what we do each week is try to provide something of education, maybe inspiration, or just planning and being able to work in the real estate space. You're probably watching this today because you're thinking about going into real estate, you're already in real estate, or you don't know if you're going to make it in real estate. So what we're going to talk about today will really help you if you implement these standards. I'm here today with Rob Rose. Rob retired in the military after 30 years as a Master Chief, and he went to work, and I've known him for those whole 10 years, and he's become a multi-million-dollar seller, and he really understands what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish with our real estate agents. You've heard about mentoring, and I have people that will come in and say, do you have a mentoring program? Then I have others come in and say, I don't want to be in a mentor program because I never talked to my mentor. He just wanted the 40%, I guess. So there's a lot of confusion, Rob. Rob Rose, who understands how mentoring works better than anyone I've ever talked to. We were sitting over and having lunch the other day, and he started telling me about it because that's something you can implement wherever you are if you've got the right leadership. And the more he talked, the more interested I got. And I said, Rob, would you do me a favor? Come to the office and let's film this so other people have the chance to hear about it. So Rob Rose, welcome, my brother.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. Let me ask you, you were in the military 30 years, and then you went directly into real estate. What have you learned from the Navy that will help you in real estate as you make that transition?
Well, when I first got out of the Navy, after 30 years, that's all I knew. I came right out of high school, spent my entire adult life in the military, learned a lot. Mentorship was a huge part of that. And so when I got out of the military and I decided, I need to find out what a new career path was going to be. And I decided, let me try real estate. Why not? I moved around a lot and worked with other real estate agents throughout those 30 years to find a house for my family and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I knew nothing about real estate. So I ended up meeting you and another lady that we know, Linda Ash. And you guys took me under your wing. You taught me the ropes, but you also let me grow. You didn't do the work for me. So I looked at people like you and Linda as mentors. And I learned a lot from you. I asked a lot of questions. You provided me a lot of feedback, and that allowed me to use my mentorship program, my mentorships within the real estate realm to become successful. And without that mentorship, then I probably would have just been another guy. And so I appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much. What, Rob, does it take to become a Master Chief?
Deep question. I can tell you, I'll go back to when I was a young E1 at my very first command at VP 93 Patrol Squadron, Submarine Hunters back in 1986. And I learned a lot from people that I consider mentors then that are still friends and mentors of mine today. That's almost 40 years ago. It is 40 years ago. And as I was leaving that first command, my Chief Petty Officer, Carl Pope, he gave me some advice as I was about to move on to my next command. And that advice was, because when I first came in, I wasn't going to stay in the Navy, but I decided, because of them, my mentors in my very first command, I was going to stay. And he asked me, where do I see myself in the future? Do I see myself staying in the Navy? Do I want to be a Chief Petty Officer? And I said, absolutely. And his advice to me was, do the hard things no one else wants to do.
Wow. Yeah.
And that stuck with me throughout my entire career. You can't shy away from the hard stuff. Because the successful people, if you look at successful people throughout any industry, doesn't matter what it is, those are the successful ones are the people that are going to do the hard work.
Right.
They're the ones that are going to go get that extra education. They're the ones that are going to get up early in the morning to do the extra stuff.
So you would say that's the difference between those that make it to Master Chief and those that don't quite get there. It's the small things is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it is. It's the small things, challenging yourself, but it really comes down to, when I look back at my career, also when we're talking about mentorship, every single command that I was ever at, I had mentors. Even when I was at the level of Command Master Chief, I still had mentors. I'm having lunch next week with a fellow Command Master Chief, retired, who was a mentor of mine when I was still a Master Chief.
Wow. And you've been out 10 years.
I've been out 10 years.
So it's almost like a lifestyle.
It is. You know, you can look at any industry. I don't care if it's a police officer, a firefighter, you're in the military, you're a carpenter, you're a nurse, you're a doctor, you're an accountant, you're in real estate. It doesn't matter. Everybody really needs a good mentor, somebody that they can go to and learn from and be challenged by. You know, because every single one of my mentors throughout my military career, they challenged me to be better today than I was yesterday. And I carried that on as well, that same thing, challenging my sailors to be better today than they were yesterday.
So when you put all this time together and you're moving up, you became Master Chief, I'm interested in knowing exactly what is the role or what responsibility does a Master Chief have in the Navy?
I mean, there's so many different aspects of it. You know, obviously everybody needs to be trained. You know, we got to train to be the absolute best at what we do. But I think being a Command Master Chief, kind of like you as a broker, you want everybody that works for you to be the absolute best at who they can be. And through that, you have to do that through positive challenge. You challenge them in a positive way. I always wanted, through my commands, to challenge everybody to be the best at who they are, but also to have an attitude. I look forward to putting on that uniform every day, looking myself in the mirror, being proud of what I do, wanting to come in and do the best job I can do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's in real estate as well. You know, a realtor should be wanting to get up in the morning, look forward to what they do, and get to work and make things happen.
Yeah.
And everybody in real estate as well, and every other industry, I think if they have a good mentor, like I had when I first came in, has a good chance of succeeding. Those that don't or shy away from that, good luck.
Good luck, yeah. How formal is the mentorship in the Navy? How does it begin? How does it grow?
I mean, I've been out for 10 years, but it's fairly formal. When I first came in, it wasn't. You know, and when I came in at 86, it just wasn't a formal thing. That's a relationship that you have to want, but not every person can be a good mentor. So you have to kind of be careful. Just because you might be assigned somebody to be your mentor doesn't mean that they're going to be the best person for you.
Right. That makes sense. What happens in the Navy when someone is not meeting the standard? Like you have a set of standards and you have a mentor. What happens if they're just not putting in the effort?
Happens all the time.
Oh, does it?
It does. Happens all the time. But it's our job. You know, my job as Command Master Chief and my senior enlisted, and even in my first class petty officers, E6s, it's our job to get them to the point where they're not doing well or failing to the point where they are succeeding. And it's not always easy. Sometimes it doesn't work out because it actually, a lot of the responsibility falls on the mentee, person that's being mentored, or the junior sailor, or the new real estate agent. If they don't want to take the advice that we're giving to them and they don't want to implement it, then they're left on their own, and chances are they're not going to succeed. But
how important are those standards?
I've always believed in standards. Whereas how you wear your uniform, how you dress, how you cut your hair, shave, all that stuff, how you treat people with respect, how do you talk to people, how do you come in, and your work ethic, all those standards matter. If you don't have standards, in my opinion, you have chaos. And
Good point. Great point.
when you have chaos, then in a lot of cases, you're probably not going to be successful because your mind is scatterbrained. You're worrying about the things that don't matter that that you should be focusing on to succeed. Mm-hmm. And I think a good mentor can pull you away because there are forces they want to pull us in negative directions. But a good mentor would be there if they see you, pull you right back. I see that on social media today. I don't want to get into all social media stuff, but I see people that I worked with in the past going crazy, and I have to gently kind of pull them back just a little bit and explain to them.
Yeah. They're not in sales. If they're not in sales, if they were in sales, they would not be posting anything negative. Can you share with me a mentor in your life that probably had the most impact for you to become a Master Chief?
Oof, man, there's a lot. Carl Pope, my very first chief. Mark Doolin, Darlene Jamun, Art Pollock, Harry Stout, Harv Hebron. I mean, I can go on and on. Matt Davis.
Did they come to you or did you go to them?
I primarily went to them, but I looked up to them. I saw how successful they were, and I said, I want to be like you guys. Mm-hmm. And they were open to me giving me some of their golden nuggets that helped me succeed in my career. Like I said, Carl Pope and some of the others, told me, do the hard things nobody else wants to do. Be better today than you were yesterday. Those little nuggets that I learned about 35, 40 years ago, are still with me today because of them.
Oh, wow. You've had a lot of people around you, which brings up another point, is that whether in real estate or whatever you're doing, the important thing is have the right people around you, not the people that are doing this, but the people that are lifting you up and challenging you to go to the next level.
Right. You're always going to have, positive people around you and negative people around you.
Okay.
And you can learn from both.
Okay.
Even the negative people, you can learn what not to do to make yourself better. But you don't want to definitely surround yourself constantly around negative people.
Right.
Absolutely not. But that's just a part of life. It's going to happen. But if you can find the right people that are a good fit for you, and also a good mentor that's actually going to listen to what you're saying, what the information you're trying to impart upon them, I think is probably a good fit. You'll know when it's a good fit for you.
Right, you just feel it.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
there's just a connection. And I'm telling you, having that good mentorship connection, no matter what industry it is,
right
here in real estate, I guarantee you, it's going to be a lifelong friendship.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day when we were talking over there at the restaurant, just how important it is in real estate. But I think what happened is we have kind of modernized everything to where we kind of left that behind. Honestly, we've left that behind. We call it coaching, we call it training, and we offer this and we offer that. The first thing I would ask if I were going to join an office is, who can be my mentor? Because I'm going to pick up speed.
Right.
We got a lot of young people right now coming into the business. I've never seen people getting out of college and going in real estate. But normally for us, it's a second career, third career. For these guys and gals getting out and getting in it, think about where they're going to be in 10 years. If they have a mentor and they don't have to start the learning process, that's frustrating.
Yeah. I see it. I get it. I think part of a job of a mentor is somebody that's been there and done that. Somebody that's been gone down the same road and path that you want to go down. And we're actually, a good mentor is also going to be there to make sure that I succeed and replace them. Being in the military, we only have a certain number of years before the Navy or the Army and Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Air Force to say, you know what, thank you for your service. It's time to retire. Go find a new career. I mean, that's what happened to me. I could have stayed, but I had to go. But I think a good mentor is going to put you down that same path. Like when I retired, and I watched some of these E3s and E4s and E5s, then advance to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. People that I mentored, we did career development boards on them. Sometimes we had disciplinary review boards, people that stepped out of line. We got them back in line, course corrected, and then they went on to succeed as well. And that's pretty cool, I think.
It is very cool. It's very cool. And coming out of the military and coming into real estate, how would you compare the two mentoring, the difference what we get in real estate and what you had 30 years in the Navy?
I think mentorship, at least in the Navy, and I think in all the other branches as well, it was natural. It was just a natural progression where if you're senior, you want your junior people to succeed. You want to make sure that they stay on the right path so that they get to your level at some point in their career. In real estate, I'm just being honest, I don't think there's a lot of good mentorship going on within brokerages because there's a lot of people want to hold on to their rice bowl, or they don't want to let the secrets out so that somebody else succeeds and gets to their level. Unless you're on a team, I think somebody who has a team, they have that mentality that they want to see people, other people in real estate.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm trying to express, number one, the really need for mentorship, and I think it's fragmented. I think when these agents, and I'm not talking about just new agents, I'm talking about those that have been around a while, they go in and the first thing that they ask is, what does your company provide? That's the first question, right? What does your company provide? Do they provide leads? Do they provide a great structure and commission? Do they provide a CRM? Can you get a great website?
Yeah.
And I think the first question I would ask would be, tell me about your mentorship program, because all these other things become stuff if you're not producing at this level. And that mentor is to help you to grow at this level, down on the roots, down on the ground. This is the stuff that they add on. A lot of it's fluff, and some of it's very helpful.
Right. Yeah, I think when I first came in, if it wasn't for people like Linda, who really was there for me whenever I had questions, it didn't matter if it was writing up a contract for the very first time, or going on a open house, or having my very first listing appointment. She was there to help me and to guide me. She didn't do the driving for me. She let me drive.
Right.
And the one thing that I learned from her more than anything else about real estate is always stay top of mind. Within your sphere, stay top of mind.
Go ahead.
But if she wasn't there to mentor me and guide me and freely give that information out to me, it probably would have taken me a little bit longer to understand that, because I just didn't know when I came in. Even though I did 30 years in the military, I was still a rookie in a brand new career.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about what advice, being the leader yourself as retired Master Chief, all those years of leading and doing it at a very high level, what advice, one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's looking for a great brokerage, great leadership, and grow their business?
I think you have to, that's a good question. I know what drew me. I went around, when I first came in, I went around and I looked and I interviewed with a lot of different brokerages. And some of them were very cold and sterile. and I just didn't connect with them because I was looking for somebody that was going to help me succeed in this brand new career. And there were some brokerages that I didn't get that feel from them. It was more of a feeling. And then I came, I ended up, joining your brokerage. But the people there too, the other agents, also made a difference.
Yeah.
And I think that was really a deciding factor for me, because I felt like everybody there was willing to help everybody out.
Yeah.
And so that's where I kind of felt like now there's a mentorship mentality here, help each other out, instead of, doing the old football stiff arm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when you're in an environment where there's camaraderie and mentorship and we're pulling for each other, one gets a listing, we're all excited. One has a sale, we're all excited, but it's genuine.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a team environment.
It's very genuine. And that's what I think makes the difference. I want to thank you for coming today, Rob. I think you're awesome. I've known him since he came into real estate, and he really lives a mentorship in his heart. So anyway, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.